Hey guys, this is Vishal and I'm super excited to do this podcast with young people या super teens. हमारे युवा गुरुकुल हमारे इंटर्नशिप में जो आते हैं मलकान जू में हर साल कुछ बच्चे आते हैं जो हमारे यहाँ पे काम करते हैं 3 हफ्ते 4 हफ्ते 5 हफ्ते और बहुत कुछ सीखते हैं और बेस्ट टाइम क्या है कि उसी टाइम पे हम युवा गुरुकुल बूट कैंप भी करते हैं सुपर टीन्स वाला प्रोग्राम तो वो भी अटेंड करते हैं एज अ स्टूडेंट ऑल्सो एज एन एम्प्लॉय ऑल्सो सो दे लर्न अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स सो चलिए उनसे बात करते हैं और देखते हैं कि उनमें ऐसा क्या है जो हमको बता रहा है कि वो इंडिया के फ्यूचर बनने वाले हैं और पता है आपको कि हमारा पॉपुलेशन जो अभी है इंडिया का जो सबसे ज्यादा है बट उसमें सबसे ज्यादा एडवांटेज क्या है कि 50% से ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन 30 के अंदर है और 25% पॉपुलेशन 15 के अंदर है मतलब बहुत सारे युवा है जो इंडिया को आगे लेके जा सकते हैं लेकिन वो आगे कब बढ़ेंगे जब उनका फाउंडेशन स्ट्रांग होगा और चलिए देखते हैं कि इनका फाउंडेशन कितना स्ट्रांग है फाइनेंस में हैबिट्स में सोशल मीडिया में या एआई में इनसे बात करते हैं चलिए देखते हैं बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग होगा और मुझे नीचे कमेंट्स में बताना कि आपने इनसे क्या सीखा या किस चीज से इंस्पायर हुए चलिए बात करते हैं
Yeah, so I have two questions
Yeah.
for you first. Firstly, which team do you support in the IPL?
Good question. So my favorite team, as I mentioned in one of the Yuva Gurukul Bootcamp also, is none of the IPL teams. My favorite team is my family, my kids, my Malkanju team, and my wife and my parents. You know, ये question मैंने तभी बताया कि आप जिस टीम को support करते हो, there is no harm in watching cricket or football or anything, but they are doing their job. They are doing their playing. कितना 74 मैच हुआ आईपीएल में 74 into 4 एक मैच 4-4.5 5 घंटा चलता है that means around 300-400 hours of cricket is there and some of them watch all the matches and some of them watch half the matches that means 400 घंटे में एक पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट डिग्री हो सकता है एक पीएचडी बन सकता है and at the end of it what do we get so I don't say you should not watch the match you should earn that entertainment that normal teams spend their time on entertainment sports Netflix, OTT, and super teens spend their time on education, right? Watching a podcast or reading a book, right? So once you do that substantially and grow up your skills, and then you can say, okay, मैंने इतना पढ़ाई किया तो अभी मैं final देखूंगा या semi-final देखूंगा. But watching each and every match and each and every ball is complete waste of time at your age. That's what my suggestion is. And coming back to your answer, my favorite team is my parents, my kids. I play for them. I cheer for them. I encourage them, and that's my favorite team.
Okay, sir. My name is Anushka. I have a question related communication. Like, I have communication fear on stage and all. Like, what we can do to reduce that communication fear?
Okay, great question, Anushka. Do you think you really have a fear?
Yeah.
This video has been watched by thousands of people on YouTube right now, and you are communicating with me so well. The only way to communicate better is to communicate.
Like after joining Yuva Gurukul Bootcamp, I have increased it, but
Yeah, so the only koi bhi cheez, it's all about the reps. The more repetitions you do, start talking at all, wherever you go, wherever you have a group, or start watching videos. There are so many videos on how to improve your communication skills. Plus, there is a great book called How to Win and Influence Friends and People by Dale Carnegie. Famous book. All-time favorite book is that book. So you should read that book and try to, maybe you can start if your intention is to be a good communicator. I am sure are you getting into content creation or something like that? You want to start your YouTube
like
channel?
basics,
So basics, right?
presentations and all.
Right, so start taking lead. कहीं पे भी कोई भी discussion होगा, debate होता होगा, उसमें participate करो, उसमें बात करना. My point of view is this, and don't feel bad about being embarrassed कि मेरा गलत हो जाएगा, मेरा grammar गलत हो जाएगा या मैंने word गलत बोल दिया. That fear has to go. Don't think about what people are saying. You are communicating for your own confidence, not to impress them. Right? You are to express. You are not impressing, you are expressing. Right?
Thank you. So I have a question, like I'm into books, so I need you to suggest some books for the teenagers.
So great question, Bhargavi, that you should read. Every teenager should start reading at a young age, and it's a lifelong habit. They say that readers are leaders. All successful people have a habit of reading. So let me suggest you a few books which will build your CAT. What is CAT? Character, attitude, and talent. So how do you build your character? By building strong habits. So read this book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Sean Covey. Second, you need to build your attitude, where you can build your mindset. You can read the book called Think and Grow Rich. You can read the book called The Secret and The Power of Subconscious Mind. These three books will help you to build that attitude. The third part of talent is you can read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which will help you how to understand the finance, the business, the money part of it. And also, I would suggest to read my book, which is called Hashtag Cashtag, which will teach you the basics of stock trading and investing. So this will build your cat, this 5-6 books, and I'm sure after reading all these books, your personality will completely change.
My name is Arna and I have a question for you. So, would you save 80% of your earnings, or would you rather invest 80% of your earnings in a company who's going through a loss?
Okay, great question. So I think, of course, if I have this two choice, I would have to save that money. I would never invest in a loss-making company. But if I can, in stock market, there are so many stocks and so many stocks which are good stocks, profit-making stocks and uptrending stocks in our language. So I would like to invest more in uptrending stocks, because I think saving will not give you that return. I know as a teenager, you already learned in Yuva Gurukul that saving money, keeping that money in the bank, just gives you simple interest, right? Which is, or compound interest, which is very less compared to if you invest in mutual funds or stocks. So if it also depends on what age I am. Like at your age, I would put 80-90% of my money in mutual funds and stocks. At my age, I would like to put 50% of my money in stocks and mutual funds and 50% into safe or other safe areas of life. So as you grow older, your risk appetite goes lower. So you put in safe investments. As you are young, you put more money in high risk but high return. Now, when you say high risk, it doesn't mean you will lose money. It's just that you have higher time frame to wait for, because you don't need the money in the next 5 years or 10 years. So your money will compound in mutual funds and stocks. So I would suggest to you to invest in mutual funds and stocks as much as possible. Learn about it first and then invest, of course. And I would put my money in a profit making or an uptrending stock as much as possible.
Okay, so I'm Vihan. Sir, so I have two questions. Question one would be, how can us teenagers implement the golden circle? So the rule of what, why, and how in our everyday lives. So right now I'm in college, I'm in A levels from JBCN. How would you say is the best way to implement this rule? And the second question is that, what would you suggest is the best business for us teenagers in the age of around 16 to 18 to make money with less losses and less risks?
So the first question which you asked is about golden circle, which is a great question, right? ये जो golden circle है, the why, ये I learned at the age of 35, and you are learning at the age of 15, which is a great thing. So as you said, the golden circle is what, how, and why. सबको पता है उन लोग क्या कर रहे हैं और कैसे कर रहे हैं, लेकिन काफी लोगों को पता नहीं है क्यों कर रहे हैं, why they are doing it. When your why goes high, the how goes easier. Now, let me explain this by an example. Let's say you are to meet your friend at 6 o'clock, but you know that if you go late, doesn't matter. He will wait for you half an hour. So your why to reach on time is not so high. You'll say, okay, मैं late हो गया, traffic मिल गया and all that. So that then you can reach at 6:30, but your loss is not that much because he will shout at you and then again you'll be friends. The second thing is, let's say you have a flight at 6 o'clock. Because if you miss that flight, you will have to incur the cost, you'll incur the time, you will miss your project, you will miss your trip and everything. So the why has gone high. Now, no matter what, you will wake up early, you will reach on time, you will catch the flight. So when the why goes high, the how goes low. How of reaching on time is dependent on why you want to reach on time. It's just a simple example, right? So now coming back to us, like why I started teaching teenagers. So I can say that I have an already existing business, which is teaching stock market to adults, right? And there also my why is to empower people to take control of their future, financial future, and empower changing the way India trades stock market. That's my why. Now I started teaching teenagers. What's my why? Is it I'm going to make a lot of money? No. Why? Because I teach most of the stuff for free or a very low ticket thing, but I want to empower the teenagers because that's where the future is. There is like 50% of our population is below 30 and 26% of our population is below 15. But the literacy rate of India is very low and we need to increase that. Then only India can become a superpower. So I want to contribute in that part of our country so that I can empower more teenagers. Now my why has suddenly gone higher, because it's about the country, it's about the community, it's about teenagers. And I have 2 teenagers, right? So that's my why. So I take out time to do this kind of shows, to do Yuva Gurukul, to do Superteens. Although I'm so busy with my other stuff, because my why is so important, I'm doing this. अगर मेरा why strong नहीं होता तो अरे यार मेरा stock trading का business चल रहा है तो मैं teenagers को क्यों सिखाऊं? मेरे पास time किधर है? So why and how are connected. Once your why goes high, the how goes easier. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So now you find out your why, that what is your main why in your life? How do you want to impact your friends or your community, your parents, your family? And what do you want to do for, which is the problem which you want to solve in our country? And there are lots of them,
Yes.
right? So which problem is close to your heart? My problem was stock market. That I want to solve the problem of stock market for common man, because that's where they most lose money. Which identify that problem, and then your why goes high, then automatically you'll go behind that why, and your how becomes easy. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Now comes the second question. What is the best business for 16 to 18 kind of kids, or 15 to 18, or whatever that teenagers? Now, I won't say there's no one answer to that.
Yeah.
Again, it goes to the why. Because what's your why? Say, let's say you want to contribute to someone who contribute to someone for an NGO, so you can do something like that. You want to impact the world with your content, so you can be a content creator. You think that you can make some great healthy recipe of food, like food dishes, which is healthy also, and which does not affect your gut also, and which also gives you energy. And you have something like that, because nowadays teens are having so much of junk food, and you have a solution for that. That's your why. Then that could be your content creation idea. That could be your business idea. So business idea depends on what is the problem, and how you can solve that problem in a better, easier, or cheaper way, right? Can you be better than others? Can you be easier than others? And can you be cheaper than others? Either of these 3 or all 3, that's your business idea. Does that make sense? So Priyam, let me ask you this question, that after attending the Yuva Gurukul Bootcamp, what has changed in your life? Has any of your habits, or any of your behavior, or any of your skill?
Yeah, so I think after attending the Yuva Gurukul Bootcamp, my ability to plan things out at a personal stage, like planning out my whole day and working out how will I do this thing at this time. So, for example, if I have to go out at 5 o'clock and I have my classes get over at 4 o'clock, what can I do in between? And what I can do to be the most productive in the 15 to 20 minutes or 1 hour of the time I get in between.
So you are using your time wisely now,
Yeah.
after doing the bootcamp, and every hour counts.
Yeah, yeah.
And time is a resource which is always non-renewable. एक बार time
Yes.
चला गया तो वापस नहीं आएगा. Great. Thank you so much. Okay, Bhargavi, tell me one thing, that after doing Yuva Gurukul Bootcamp, which is your favorite habit which you think that you should implement in your life?
So the one I liked about is improving your self improvement. Like you should improve what is like
Is the sharpen the saw, the
yes,
7th habit.
Yeah,
So keep improving yourself.
yeah.
So how do you think you can improve yourself? What all things you're going to do?
So I am basically into books, so I will be reading books. I can gain more knowledge about different things which are outside the world, but we cannot get to know about that.
Yes.
So I can listen to the podcast. I can go through all the websites and learn more things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so the 7 habits says sharpen the saw. Not only when you read the books and podcasts, it increases your mind power, but it also says about you need to work on your body power. It also need to say about your heart power. So what one thing you will do to increase your inner strength?
yeah, so I can meditate and have affirmations. I can go through like every day. I can do my affirmation visualization and have a positive energy around me.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, Arna, you attended the Yuva Gurukul Bootcamp. Now I want to ask you that what do you mean by need versus want?
So your needs and your wants. So suppose, can I give an example?
Yes.
Suppose you need a phone, but your want is an iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Got it. You mean that you just need a phone to communicate and give messages. So you can use a normal phone, which is like a like a regular phone, like maybe iPhone 10 or 12 or any other phone, but your want is iPhone 16, which is your desire. So how do what happens when we spend too much on our wants, or what should we do to control our wants?
So you should delay gratification.
Wow, delayed gratification. Can you
Yes.
explain me that?
A movie is launched, so I'll not just go and buy a ticket. I delayed the gratification and I'll go later in an afternoon show.
The
And
ticket price will be cheaper,
yes, and instead of watching the movie, I can also invest
right?
somewhere.
So it's like saving that first day, first show when the ticket prices are high,
Yes.
or a 4D Max or IMAX theater. You'll go for an afternoon show,
Yes.
save that 500 rupees or 800 rupees, and then invest somewhere in mutual funds or something.
Yes,
Like that. Yes, great.
I also do that.
Thank you. So Vihan, tell me that what did you learn about mutual funds in Yuva Gurukul Bootcamp?
Okay. So mutual funds is like you can invest in an SIP, which is systematic investment planning, and it'll take a certain amount of money from your account every month, and that will help you grow your account 20, 30 or 40 years down the line. So basically mutual funds is something that will give you a basic chart, a straightforward chart that will help you keep a track of your money, and how is it growing and what percent of interest you're getting on the certain amount of money that you have invested.
So in that we don't get interest, we get returns, right? So the advantage of mutual fund is that you can invest in so many companies with small amount of money, because you are pulling all the money into one account, which is called the mutual fund, and it is managed by an expert, because right now you're not an expert. So and by the time you turn 18, you can learn about stock market, you become an expert, and then start investing directly into stock market after you turn 18. Till then, you can invest in mutual funds, right? So Anushka, tell me that what do you think as a teenager, today's teenager should learn some of the important skills which will help you in your future? Where is the future?
Best skills is photo edit, video edit, AI, and social media. If you learn these skills, you can become a super team.
Great. So guys, tell me who uses Swiggy the most? Zomato? सब लोग Zomato यूज करते हैं, तो Zomato का स्टॉक प्राइस देखा है कि नहीं तुम लोग ने? ओके ओके, नेटफ्लिक्स, जियो हॉटस्टार, यूट्यूब एंड पॉडकास्ट, बर्गर, पिज्जा और पास्ता. बर्गर, पिज्जा, पास्ता. Okay. Sleeping late at night or waking up early in the morning? Sleeping late, waking early in the morning. Girls versus boys. Okay. Last minute homework. Acha. Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. Okay, you guys don't have Snapchat. Okay, I want to. There's some Gen Z slang language which you guys use. So I want to understand those words. What do you mean by cap? CAP. What is it?
Lying.
Lying is cap.
Basically lying.
Fake.
Faking it. Faking something.
मतलब हिंदी में बोले तो टोपी पहना है.
वैसे कुछ भी बोल रहा
अच्छा. Ghost. What is that?
Ignore or not
Ignoring
replying.
not
Okay.
talking to someone for ऐसे randomly.
Chugui.
What?
CHEUGY. What does that mean? Not cool. Okay, जाने दो. Okay, then what is it? Others? Fam.
Fam is
Fam is group or family or something like that.
T.
Like a community or something.
T. नहीं.
What?
T. चाय. TEA. इसमें लिखा है juicy gossip. Okay. Who's a content creator here? Who's content consumer?
No, we both have our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
also.
Oh, you created one.
Yeah, but now I don't
Now,
get the
now
time to
he used to do Lego and I used to do gaming.
So why don't you continue?
Studies.
थोड़ा साइड में टाइम निकालो. Okay. Google or Chat GPT? Who's for Google? Chat GPT? Okay.
What's your understanding by the word bro?
Bruh. बहुत सुना मैंने बहुत है from my daughter, but मेरे ख्याल से वो है bro, like bro chill, like कुछ भी बोलते हैं, अरे मतलब बोलते हैं ना, अरे हम लोग हिंदी में अरे बोलते तो bruh. I think, is that the right meaning? Yeah, okay. Next.
So, sir, do you know about memes?
Yeah, I know about memes.
If memes could be stocks, which one would you go all in?
उठा ले रे देवा. So that was a wrap on this Super Teens podcast with some of the great Super Teens we have in our office, in our studio. And hope you learned a lot. Let me know in the comment section what was the best part about this podcast and what would you like to see in the future podcast of Super Teens. Thank you so much and have a great day.